Hello, and to everybody from India, to all Indians watching this, and as well as anybody who just like to celebrate that festival, Happy Diwali. There is not much of Diwali here, if anything, here in Harare. As some of you may know, I am posted in Zimbabwe on work, so miles and miles away from India. We will have a celebration in the neighborhood temple, but other than that, there's nothing much. But let's just build on that. How much of a Diwali are we able to celebrate anyway? At least in the big cities, the metro cities in India. I've been following the news, and it seems that there is yet again a ban on the sale of firecrackers that's been imposed by the Supreme Court in Delhi. And I'm hearing that there isn't much going on, at least in New Bombay, where my parents live, where I used to live, of course, until I got posted here. Let me tell you that, back in the day, if I could use that term, it's just like I'm talking just hardly 30 years back. Back in the day when I was in school, uh, the fireworks, the firecrackers would start going off by 5:36 in the morning, and after a break in the afternoon, it would pick up again from 6 or 7 in the evening, and it wouldn't stop till like all the way till 12 at night. In fact, once I was in Chennai during Diwali, and people would burst, things like atom bomb and in their homes, or at least in the ledge on the staircase. So it would it would really make your ears reverberate. But our eyes weren't watering, and you wouldn't be coughing from the fumes from the crackers. So it is not, it is not the crackers by themselves that create the air pollution, and the only thing that we are doing by trying to curb the use of crackers is to just make the situation a little bit more manageable, or maybe a little less unmanageable than it is. So what has happened that the situation has become like that, and what do we need to do about it? Diwali is traditionally an occasion during which we buy new clothes, new things. Many lot of people get their homes painted in time for Diwali. It is also the start of a new year in many subcultures in India. I think especially in Gujarat. So, how about we also embrace new thoughts and new perspectives during Diwali? So, what exactly are we doing? Where are we headed in India? I think it is high time that we should start asking that question. Um, so I was telling you about uh, how much firecrackers we would burst back in the day in the 90s. You know what else you could do in the 90s that you can't really do, at least not in Mumbai anymore? You could look up at the sky on a clear night and see constellations. I have actually seen a good deal of the Orion looking up into the sky at night. Now tell me, when is the last time have you ever seen a star at night? If there is somewhere in Mumbai that you are able to, then you're a really lucky guy. I would really like to head over to where you are so that I could also get a glimpse of that, because I have noticed that at least for the last 10 years, you cannot see anything up even on a clear night except the moon. So that is a good barometer for how much the pollution has gone up. Um, and that is naturally why you're having this increase in respiratory diseases, and why in general it makes life more stressful, less desirable in the metros. If you're, if you're perpetually waking up with a blocked nose, you don't feel great even before you have started the day, and you still have to travel 90 minutes or maybe even an hour before you just get to your workplace from home, and you have to repeat that again in the evening. And in the middle of all this, there is this certain icon of the Indian IT industry who says that we should be working minimum 70 hours a week. uh, that's a topic for a different video, maybe some other time. But what I can tell you, as someone who does work at least 60 hours a week here in Harare, is that it's a lot easier to do that when you're living in a city where there isn't much traffic, there isn't much pollution. By Indian, say, big city standards, I would say there is no pollution, no traffic. And when I say no pollution, I don't mean just no air pollution. There's no noise pollution. I live in an area which is bang in the prime of Harare. You could say it's comparable as a residential area of prestige to places like Kolaba or Malabar Hill in Mumbai, and like Vasant Vihar in Delhi, something like that. And yet, yeah, just now a vehicle passed. Otherwise, you wouldn't hear a thing. You definitely do not hear incessant, impatient, and angry honking. And usually, what is that all that angry honking about? Because the watchman, the security guard, I should say, didn't step out to open the gate for the guy sitting in the car who is too lazy to just put the car on handbrake or parking mode if you're driving an automatic transmission car, get out and open the gate by himself. No, they won't do that. It's apparently a loss of prestige or something to do that, but they will keep pressing the horn like 10 times, 100 times until somebody comes out and opens the gate for them. In Harare, like, especially like just in the building where I live, it says clearly outside the gate, no hooting, which is hooting is the word they use here for honking, and nobody honks. When there were people who did use the horn way too much to get people to open the door, uh, then we actually all received a letter from the manager of the society saying that you should avoid hooting. It's not good manners, something to that effect. You're disturbing the peace and quiet of everybody in the building, which is absolutely right. And there's nothing to get so frantic about if somebody doesn't open the door for you within seconds. But that's where we are at. And that permeates every walk of life in India. These perpetual impatience and aggression, that is amounting up to what exactly? And we can keep deluding ourselves that we are headed towards greatness, towards becoming an economic superpower, and therefore all this is worth it. The question I have, which is basically where I'm going to end the video, is that will it really be worth it to get India become an economic superpower if the India that we're left behind with is unlivable, has even more air pollution than what you already have in cities like Delhi or Mumbai, and has ever more dwindling sources of drinking water? Think about that. Would you really like to live in a city where you will have to struggle for water, and you will also be perpetually coughing or having a running nose or blocked nose, whatever, because there's too much air pollution, where you may have to keep wearing masks regardless of whether or not there is a COVID wave in your city? This is something that we really need to think about and start asking of the industrialists, the business tycoons, the politicians, governments. There is, in my view, an urgent need to reprioritize India and think about what kind of India are we wanting to build. because there's that old Beatles song goes, uh, I don't have much, I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy me love. But that's exactly what we're trying to, aren't we? We're trying to buy happiness with money. And do we really think that that's going to work? On that note, I'm signing off. Let's get on with the festivities, but let's also think about what needs to change for next year's Diwali celebrations to be more enjoyable, more fun, less stressful, so that we don't have to, stop people from bursting crackers just because the pollution is already unbearable in our cities. Thank you. Have a great day.